Good evening. My name is Prince Gyasi. I'm a visual artist and co-founder of Basket. I'm from Accra, Ghana, West Africa to be precise. I usually tell stories through my iPhone lens and with the use of color. The big question is, why do I use an iPhone and why do I use color? I don't use an iPhone just because I want to be unique, but I use an iPhone because I believe as an artist, you can use whatever tool or whatever equipment you have to tell your stories. I also use color because I want people to be mentally and emotionally healed by just looking at my images or my art pieces. Let's see the first image. This is a little kid, a 6-year-old black American who is the first black American to be accepted in an all-white public school. She is Ruby Bridges. I think she's old now. So I usually tell stories with a theme of, around the themes of education, hope, love, care, guidance, and so on. As an artist, I think for me to be able to contribute to the solutions to the problems of Africa or Ghana, I have to use my art or my iPhone to tell these stories to create awareness in Ghana. So I decided to create something around this theme, education. This shows that education has been a problem for a very long time for people of color. So I created a present visual representation of education, which is this one. It's from the Faces series, and it's called Ignorance Costs Money Too. In Ghana, people usually say education is expensive, forgetting that ignorance is expensive too. It costs way more money than education. In an old district called Jamestown in Accra, which played a part in slavery back in the days, there are kids who are indulging in fishing when they're given birth to this earth, actually. When their parents give birth to them, they go through a cycle of fishing, and they never make it to school, and they grow up to become fishmongers or fishermen. This is contributing to poverty in Africa. People forget that education could be a bigger solution to all our problems. This is a kid who has to sell these stuff and give the money to their parents for his or her parent to be able to provide food for them. This is a kid who has to sell oranges, give the money to their parents as well for a parent to provide food for them. This was shot in Elmina, which also played a part in slavery, but with the same background story that the kids in Jamestown are facing. This is a visual representation of strength. I'm saying that if we're able to solve a problem of education, these kids could be a better people or great leaders in future. This is the Weight 2 from the Basket series. I wanted to talk a little bit about Basket. Basket is a non-profit organization. I'm a co-founder. My partner is Kukwa. She's based in the US. These kids, I found them at 6 a.m. in November 2018. These kids were hungry. And I asked them, why are you sitting there? They said, this is something that we go through every single day. We never know what we're going to eat in a day. All we know is we're going to join our parents in fishing in order to eat at the end of the day. I found it very sad. And as an artist, I thought there's a need for me to tell these stories through my art. This is an evidence. The kids are fishing. If they don't do this, they don't eat at the end of the day. The reason why I play with colors a lot is because most visual artists tell African stories in a negative way. Even though we're going through difficulties, I think for the new generation, especially me, I have to tell these stories in a more beautiful way. So these kids, when they see them, they know that I can be, or they can be, great people in future. Because this signifies hope. These are twins in Jamestown. I know. Yeah, so this image right here, before I get into it, I have mild synesthesia. I don't know if you know about that. I see words in colors. Yeah. So I see words or alphabets in colors. So A is red, B is yellow, C is white, D is black, E is brown, F is orange, G is dark green, H is peach, I is white, J is dark green as well, and so on. The reason why I use red, and the reason why I'm speaking about this, is because red signifies labor, blood, sacrifice. And I think this piece called Fatherhood, which is one of my most powerful pieces I've ever created, is telling a story of a kid who doesn't have a father figure in their lives. This is a true story from Jamestown, but obviously this is not a kid who lost his parents. But I wanted to use the early stage of a kid to depict the story of this kid from Jamestown. And this kid lost his parents and has no father figure in their lives. Education being a problem already, imagine not having a father in your life. You will not be able to go to school, number one, and not be able to eat as well. You go hungry. So I thought I should create something about fatherhood to show that we don't have to be biological fathers or biological siblings to these kids, but we can still show the love a father will show to a child. The reason I use red is because, like I said, labor. And the reason I use blue is because I want to tell you that if you are able to show this love or care to this kid, blue signifies calmness. All these mental health issues they're going through, they're definitely going to be calm and everything will be great for them. This is a continuation of fatherhood. This is called Almost Home. It also tells us the journey of the kid having a father figure who's guiding them through life and showing them what is right and what is wrong. Before I get to that, I also see the days of the week in colors. Monday is brown, Tuesday is orange, as you can see. Skoll Forum is also orange. Wednesday is blue, Thursday is gray, Friday is red, Saturday is white, Sunday is green. I see these things and it has helped me develop my use of color. So everything I do with color is meaningful. It's not just, I don't just choose them. This is called agony of orphan. It shows the pain that losing a father in your life brings to a child. This is the burden they go through, the burden they carry. The stone signifies a burden. Of course, I can't put too many stones. You can't carry them. This is a powerful piece called Patience and Purpose. Mostly, people fight the process of life. I believe that if you trust the process and you work hard and you focus, everything you're creating, when it comes together, there will be a greater picture. You can see two guys looking at one direction because they believe that if they trust the process, they're going to be great people in future. So as you can see, I use blue because it signifies calmness and white because it signifies victory. So whatever you're creating, if you're calm, you're patient, and you trust the process, you're going to be victorious at the end of the day. This is a visual representation of kids playing. And I call it seeds because it's a continuation of what I showed you earlier. It simply means that seeds take time to grow. So whatever you're creating, don't give up. Keep going, and you'll definitely reach your potential. This is a man of many nations. As you can see, all these colors represent every color of a country in the world. This man is a great leader now because he trusted the process. So it's just conceptual storytelling that I usually do with my art. This is Crumple Zone from the Control series. Control series is, I just wanted to let people know that certain times we have weaknesses and we give too much strength to the weaknesses. I believe we can channel our energy to our weakness and turn them into strength. So that's why I created this, because usually in Accra, Ghana, I'll tell you a story. In Accra, Ghana, usually when you're late, you take a motorbike. because you want to maneuver your way through. And I believe that if we focus, sometimes there will be bad situations, there will be obstacles that we have to do certain things to be able to achieve what we want to achieve. So for me, in an abstract idea, I decided to use helmets. Because in that way, it's telling you, run fast, but don't run out of gas. This is Energy is Contagious from also the Control series. You can see these zippers. Usually zippers open a way to certain parts I don't want to mention, but I wanted to use this to be able to tell you a story of how we can protect ourselves from certain energies, because these are what contribute to our mental health. And if you are having mental health issues, don't be afraid to speak out to a friend or talk to a friend. This also talks about what goes on in Africa. Sometimes, I know all over the world it happens, when people are pushing through something. This water signifies hope and the sacrifice that this guy has put into his life or his career. But there are certain people who are usually pulling you back because they don't want you to be where you want to be. Obviously, bondage, mental slavery, like I said. And this is from the Faces series called Mood Swings. It's a visual representation of how people who have mental health go through mood swings, different emotions. And I wanted to show that visually because I always thought, how can I show this? How can I help people to be able to see this? I see all emotions in colors as well. This is very important for every woman to see this. In Africa, in Ghana, women usually go through a lot when they are growing up. They have a lot of responsibilities. They take care of their kids. They sacrifice. And when they get married, before even when they have a kid, when they get married, they take care of their husbands as well, because some husbands are a bit not disorganized. So I'm showing this as responsibility. That's the name. The name is responsibility. So I'm showing how women from Africa are responsible and how they strive to helping men grow. Because every successful woman, there's a woman behind that man. This is dignity. It's also the same story. If we're able to solve this problem, which Baskets is doing, if we're able to do this, these kids are going to come out with flying colors. This shows the strength of motherhood in Africa. This is how, visually, mothers carry their babies in Ghana. I mean, we're in the modern world now. People push, but we still do this. We still do this because we believe this is more safer. This shows the strength of women. Women have to sell stuff in Ghana to be able to provide food for their kids. It's very important that we all know this, because I know most people haven't been to Africa or Ghana yet. But I always wanted to tell a story of how powerful women are from Ghana. This is also a modern way of showing the strength of women, as you can see. This is called the symbols of womanhood. It's self-explanatory. Yes, for that. So Baskets is basically trying to help kids get an education. It was inspired by when my partner and I went to Jamestown, and we found a kid making boats out of sticks. We thought this is creative, but this kid doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know this could be the purpose of his life because he doesn't have education. So for me, in 2016, my mom is a singer. She got donations from other people when she did a fanfare for these kids in Jamestown. And she was giving them food and drinks. But for me, as an artist, I thought food and drinks doesn't solve the problem. So what can I do? When I make money, I'm going to give education to these kids. But I found out in 2017 that I don't need money to do this. I can always use my art to tell these stories, create awareness, and create a system that can solve these problems. So that's what Baskets is. And Baskets simply means a kid who's trapped in a situation that they can't get out of. And in other words, this situation is a box. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Prince Gyasi, and this is my story.